What the fact? Historian Carter G. Woodson, the creator of what we presently know as Black History Month, worked passionately to establish the event in an effort to provide an education on the origins, struggles, and achievements of African Americans in United States history. It was first established in 1926. Most people think of Rosa Parks as the first person to refuse to give up their seat on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama. There were actually several women who came before her, one of whom was Claudette Colvin. It was March 2nd, 1955, when the 15-year-old schoolgirl refused to move to the back of the bus. 9 months before Rosa Parks' stand that launched the Montgomery bus boycott. Spurred by growing racial violence in the early 20th century, and particularly by 1908 race riots in Springfield, Illinois, a group of African American leaders joined together to form a new permanent civil rights organization, the NAACP. February 12, 1909 was chosen because it was the centennial anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln. Black men had a strong presence in the Wild West. You'd be pretty hard-pressed to find much diversity in old-time Western films. However, according to Smithsonian Magazine, 1 in 4 cowboys was black. In fact, it's believed that the fictional character of the Lone Ranger was based on Bass Reeves. Reeves was born into slavery, but he fled westward during the Civil War. In time, Reeves became a deputy U.S. Marshal. Heavyweight champ Jack Johnson became the first African-American man to hold the World Heavyweight Champion boxing title in 1908. He held onto the belt until 1915. Martin Luther King Jr. improvised the most iconic part of his I Have a Dream speech. Betty Boop was inspired by a black jazz singer. She may have been drawn as an old Hollywood pinup girl, but cartoon Betty Boop was actually based on Esther Jones, a Harlem-based jazz singer. Jones was known for her use of boops in her singing as well as what was called a childlike scat, similar to that of her illustrated counterpart. John Mercer Langston was the first black man to become a lawyer when he passed the bar in Ohio in 1854.
ChrisTopProgram.com, home to No Name the Dark Web Serial Killer, Rideshare Stories, and What the Fact.
What the fact? Inoculation was introduced to America by a slave. Onesimus told Martin Luther about the centuries-old tradition of inoculation practice in Africa. By extracting the material from an infected person and scratching it into the skin of an uninfected person, you could deliberately introduce smallpox to the healthy individual, making them immune. According to the United States Census Bureau, the black population in the U.S. includes 46.8 million people. This is either alone or in combination with one or more races. A 2018 report asserts that there are 2.1 million black military veterans across the U.S. In 2015, the Bureau counted 113,643 black-owned businesses nationwide. Thurgood Marshall was the first African-American ever appointed to the U.S. Supreme Court. He was appointed by President Lyndon B. Johnson and served on the court from 1967 to 1991. The earliest recorded protest against slavery was by the Quakers in 1688. In the United States and Canada, we celebrate Black History in February. However, in the United Kingdom, Ireland, and the Netherlands, they honor it during the month of October. In 2014, Ireland became only the 4th country in the world to celebrate Black History Month. George Washington Carver developed 300 derivative products from peanuts. Among them are cheese, milk, coffee, flour, ink, dyes, plastics, wood stains, soap, linoleum, medical oils, and cosmetics. How would we even survive without this man? Of the 12.5 million Africans shipped to the New World during the transatlantic slave trade, about 388,000 arrived in the U.S. Madam C.J. Walker was born on a cotton plantation in Louisiana and became a millionaire after inventing a line of African-American hair care products. On April 5, 1947, Jackie Robinson became the first African-American to play Major League Baseball when he joined the Brooklyn Dodgers. He led the league in stolen bases that season and was named Rookie of the Year.
What the Fact is a Chris Top program production.
What's the fact?
Hey guys, this is your girl Teresa from Making Sense the podcast. Make sure to subscribe on your favorite platforms, and thank you for listening to this Chris Top production.